Hello, hello, happy Monday to you. First Monday of the year 2022. Can you believe it? Joining us on a replay, big hello to you as well. We are live and I'm so excited to start the new year off with you on Level Up Conversation today.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Well, hello, friends. Happy New Year to all of you, 2022. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. Hope you're staying warm. Want to say a big hello to my friend CrossX Fighter on YouTube. Joshua, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. First Monday of 2022. I know I haven't seen you since last year. It feels like so long ago, and yet it was like literally just a couple weeks ago. Hello, friends. I am Winnie Sun, your host here on Level Up Live, Forbes contributor, CNBC council member, and award-winning financial pro, here to keep you on top of relevant, trending business news. So much going on, and so much going on almost every day. So it's like we have to have these conversations. As you know, today's always fun. You're part of today's conversation. This is streaming, in fact, live. So we're going to be monitoring your comments throughout the program. But my goal for 2022 is a pretty big one. You know, starting the year off right, I thought, what can we do this year to really make a difference? So I'm actually committed. I'm really, really excited to really bring you even more value this year to sort of navigate the next year together, making the most of it. And for ourselves personally, our businesses, our families, our loved ones, and everything else in between. So I want to welcome you back, first work week of the year. Let's celebrate with some smart financial news, why don't we? And some golden nuggets to start your year off right. So first off, you know what we do. We start with how the market closed. If market closed down, actually not down, closed up positive all across the board. In fact, the Dow closed up almost 250 points, up 246 points. The Dow Jones NASDAQ then closed up 187 points, and the S&P closed up 30 points as well. So Dow up 246, NASDAQ up 187, and the S&P up 30 points as well. Today, investors seem to be thinking this is not that big a deal. The pandemic is here. We know, we keep seeing the news. However, investors are saying, you know what, we're going to start this new year off. We're not going to be so concerned about all these surging COVID cases. In fact, the FDA just announced today that they're also going to expand eligibility for booster shots for children ages 12 through 15. This is going to be the Pfizer vaccine. They also shortened the time frame between the second Pfizer dose and the booster. So instead of having to wait 6 months now, it's down to just 5 months. FDA also authorized a third vaccine dose as part of its primary series of shots for kids ages 5 through 11. Now, if you have a compromised immune system, you also are allowed to have that third booster shot as well. So they went ahead. I thought that was interesting that they went ahead and threw that in as well. They're like, okay, so 12 and up, you can get your booster. And if you're under 12 and you have immune issues there, compromised issues, then you can go ahead and get your booster as well. And we're decreasing that booster shot from 6 months to now 5 months after the second shot. You now can get that shot as well. So COVID infections, as you know, continue to create quite a mess here in the United States. We're seeing highly contagious. The Omicron variant is really now replaced the Delta throughout the United States. In fact, we just heard this week that the third Walmart in New Jersey now is closing for sanitizing, restocking due to super spreader events there, I guess, with COVID. Hitting those stores as well. So three Walmarts now shut down in New Jersey. So interesting. I just thought it was interesting that would happen just in one state and that we're not hearing it in other states yet. So I don't know. The other thing that is really creating quite a bit of ruckus, if you will, in financial news is the talk of inflation. As you know, we heard a lot about inflation last year that continues to trickle down. this year because we're also noting that the Federal Reserve is probably going to be increasing hikes multiple times this year. They were talking last year 3 times of increasing interest rates because they want to mitigate inflation, trying to cool inflation down a little bit. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? We definitely want inflation to be cooled down. Prices of goods continue to creep up and it just seems to be getting higher. In fact, speaking of inflation, I actually saw a study today that said that used cars, in fact, continue to get more expensive. It almost seems like this is a Groundhog Day because it feels like we talked about this last year. But in fact, used cars continue to get more expensive. In fact, according to a recent study in November, this was according to Edmunds.com, they said that the average used car price costs a little over $29,000, which is almost 40% more than just 12 months earlier from that day. So the inflation of used cars almost at 49%. It was actually 39%. Now, that's crazy if you think about it, because typically, historically, used cars tend to get less expensive, right? Because they're older and there's less demand. But because of supply chain issues, inflation issues, they've actually increased in value, these very used cars. And speaking of cars, I thought you'd like to hear this. I'm thinking about Greg Nibbler, who I co host The Loop with on this. Some exciting news coming out from Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz has just unveiled a new all-electric concept car. Now, this is called the EQXX, and what's going to be able to deliver is longer driving range. So that's kind of exciting because certainly a lot longer range than my Tesla, but they're said to be able expected to travel up to 620 miles on a single charge. Just think about that. And I see many of you joining me. I see Vicky. It's great to see you. It's great to see you, Carlos, as well. And I see, of course, Joshua. Let me ask you this. If you had a car that was completely electric, right? That's Mercedes, and it could drive 620 miles, where would you take that car? Because I was thinking when I was reading this up, I'm like, 620 miles, that could get me pretty far. It definitely could get me to LA and back. It could get me up to the mountains to see snow and back. It could take me to Joshua Tree to see the desert and back. It could almost get me to Las Vegas and back. So super cool. So this brand new car, I guess that's coming. I want to say hello also to Dr. Tai joining us on LinkedIn. It's wonderful to see you, my friend, here as well. Thank you for all that you do for so many people. I know she works those long hours at the hospital. So we appreciate Dr. Tai so much for being here. Well, let's just say that this new vehicle is not only going to get you places farther on a single charge, which for those of you who own electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles, you know how incredibly important range is. But this new car is also going to be made with some pretty unique recycled and sustainable materials. I thought this was pretty cool. They're actually going to be making some of the parts out of mushroom fibers. That's right, mushroom fibers, ground up cacti, for those of you who visited Joshua Tree, there's a lot of cacti out there, and trash, such as food scraps. So good job, Mercedes. We're excited to hear that. It's actually excited to hear that just to meet these improvements, definitely going in the direction of more green energy and now also green materials in vehicles. I think we're happy to hear that. Now, talking about travel, I thought I'd share this with you as well. So I know Vicky is saying eco-friendly BMW. Okay, yeah. I guess BMW is doing, I know a lot of cars are doing that now, right? We're seeing a lot of, they're saying vegan materials, right? A lot of maybe repurposing. I'm excited to hear that. But let's also talk more about travel. Now, believe it or not, a lot of the reopening stocks benefited today in the stock market. So reopening stocks are stocks that typically would do well if the economy were to fully reopen, if COVID was behind us. So interesting, a lot of these reopening stocks benefited big time today. Now, these stocks included the airline industry, the cruise industry. In fact, my little one, I asked him last night, I said, what do you want to do? What's the first vacation you want to do once we get beyond the COVID, the pandemic? And the first thing he said is, Mommy, I want to go on this Disney cruise. I can't agree with him more. I would love to go on another cruise, but cruise lines definitely improved today. But as you know, over 7,000 flights continue to be canceled or delayed today. Now, this is following actually not millions, but thousands of flights were canceled around the Christmas holiday. And so a lot of people, in fact, decided that they weren't going to travel. We saw definitely very full airports. We saw a lot of people, having their flights disrupted. I follow a lot of those travel and points bloggers, and they're just talking about like really travel nightmares. But some of you may have also decided to go on a road trip. Now, I don't know if you did, but if you did, definitely let me know. Vicky, love to hear. Carlos, did any of you go on a road trip? I certainly did. We sort of went locally. We went up to the mountains up in Wrightwood to go take the kids to play in the snow. And, interesting enough, it gave me a chance to go ahead and take a look at some of the gas prices. We didn't take my Tesla to my husband's car, but we had to fill up that tank. And definitely did seem that gas sort of stabilized a little bit, still expensive, but seemed to stabilize. And it got me thinking, what could I share with you that would also be helpful for you? Because maybe you're doing a little bit of sightseeing, maybe you're staying close to home, maybe you're just doing some road trips. Well, interesting enough, Gas Buddy recently released a survey that showed that if you're going to fill up your tank, what are the best days of the week to fill up? Well, they said that in general, gas prices tend to be lowest at the beginning of the week. So today, Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday, tends to be a little bit less expensive. In fact, prices tend to rise when they get closer to the weekend. So typically Fridays, Saturdays, that's when your gas price is going to be at a higher level. So if you're going to fill up that tank, keep that in mind. Maybe make a trip on Monday or Tuesday, fill up that car. And I would just add to this, definitely don't discount prices at those wholesale places. So Costco gas, Sam's Club gas, definitely take a look at that. I was surprised how much less expensive some of these places were. Sometimes you're looking at 30 cents per gallon. So definitely worth it to try and get your gas at wholesale prices. So on that, I want to share with you also, we're going to be bringing you a lot of great information this week and also into the year. So if you haven't done this already, definitely take a moment, follow me on Twitter or whatever your preferred social media handle or platform is, because I'm going to be sharing more news this year, more tips, and of course, more fun behind the scenes content in 2022. This is going to be a big year. My team and I are very excited. We had this big meeting earlier today. So do send me ideas. There's other things that you would like to hear about, you want to learn about, you want to think that this is really going to make a difference in my financial or business, career life, social media life. Reach out, send me your ideas. We have a lot drumming up in the near future. But of course, this is about you. We want to make sure that you are heard. So I'd love to hear your comments and feedback. Thank you so much, my friends, for watching and supporting, of course, our program, Level Up Live. And we're going to be coming back again tomorrow. But please take a moment to share this show. Let everybody know we are back for 2022. And as a reminder, you can find full episodes of Level Up on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Roku, and of course the CW in San Francisco. Be well, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Take care now.